Erica Stanford is the Immigration Minister. Minister, good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, are you a Taylor Swift fan?
Actually, yes. I went to a concert when my daughter was 6, so it was a good sort of 12 years ago.
Do you know she's engaged?
I did see the big news, front page of every major newspaper.
Yeah, your announcement's going to get bumped today, I think, Minister.
It happens every time. Someone has to gazump me every time. Taylor.
Hey, what are the details here? So somebody can get a fast track to residency for putting $2 million into a Kiwi business?
Yes. So I mean, it's an existing policy that hasn't been working for a long time. The settings weren't right. So we've scrapped that visa and created a new one that is more tailored to the people that we want. So we've got people who are nearing retirement in this country who want to sell their businesses, potentially for over $1 million or over $2 million, and we just don't have the buyers. We need access to a greater pool of investors who have got business experience, who are going to come here, invest or buy a bit in a business and create jobs and make sure that they're revitalising that business. So it is a fast track if you're spending over $2 million, so that's you get your residence in 12 months, but if you're spending over $1 million, investing $1 million, it's a 3-year pathway to residence.
Right, so within 12 months you can be a resident of New Zealand?
Yes, but you have to maintain your interest in that business for 3 years, maintain the jobs that were existing when you got here, and also create more jobs. So this is about growth, job creation, and also bringing some of that capital into New Zealand.
Is there a minimum number of employees, and what types of businesses? Are you making rules about that, or are there rules about that?
We are going to be very strict because in the past we've had a similar visa 2 iterations ago where people were coming in and buying $2 shops and then just recycling them to the next person. So we are putting a restriction on the type of business, so adult entertainment and gambling and convenience stores and that sort of thing are not going to be on the table. What we're trying to look at is people coming in and buying, for example, motels and accommodation, manufacturing, trades.
Out of interest, why not adult entertainment?
Well, I think that there's probably a moral reason behind that.
Okay.
Not that, it's a perfectly legitimate
that's what I
business.
mean. Because we've had this problem with the banks. The banks have refused to lend to, there's companies that sell, things.
I just think there's probably a social licence thing going on here with Kiwis that expect these people to come in.
What about vape shops?
No.
Okay. Okay, so there's rules around this. What about health? What about English language tests? Is there requirements about that?
Yep, we've got to meet all the health and character requirements that you normally would. We want, good people, good stand-up people who've got business experience. We'll check that as well. And they need to be under 55, and yes, they do need to be able to speak English if they're operating a business in New Zealand. What
do you say to those people? I had texts into the News Talk ZB studio this morning from people saying every time Erica Stanford announces something, it sounds like the ticket to entry to New Zealand just gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
Well, interestingly, the visa this is replacing, the minimum you had to invest was $100,000. So we've actually gone up from that to $1 million, and that's a significant amount to invest in a business. If you look at businesses for sale right now, there's only 185 that are on for sale for over $1 million. So we're not talking huge numbers. We expect there might be between 150 and 100 in the first year. Small numbers, but really important as we think about all those people who are nearing retirement, who want to be able to sell their business, but we don't have the people in New Zealand who have that kind of capital available to purchase a business like that.
Tourism, what other levers are you looking at pulling at the moment, particularly for Auckland? I spoke to Simon Bridges this morning. He says you're looking at tourism. He says you're looking at student visas as well. What exactly are we talking about? We've
already made some tweaks to student visas, and some operational tweaks as well. So we are approving more visas. We're being more facilitative with our decline. So our decline rates have dropped. We're still being very careful because there are always people who are trying to come into New Zealand for nefarious purposes, so we've got to be careful. But we have created a new visa for sub-degrees. So if you go into a polytech, there is a 6-month bridging visa, for example, that we've introduced. We've introduced extra hours you can work while you are studying. It used to be 20 and now it's 25.
Yes.
Better than Australia. And we will continually look to add more and more.
Where? What are you looking at?
Well, I'm not going to say just yet because I want to make sure we'd go through a proper policy process, but we will always look, and a lot of them might be just operational things and how can we speed up. We're already actually pretty fast, but how can we be more facilitative?
What about the Chinese visa-free entry to New Zealand? I know we have a trial coming with those going through Australia. Are you looking at, or are you going to wait for that trial to finish before you make any further decisions?
We will take a look at it. You remember we're also piggybacking on the very goodwill of the Australians.
Yes.
And so we don't want to continue to add things because there is a relationship there as well.
So
but let's see how it goes.
So you're looking at maybe changing before the trial finishes?
We're always open, and we'll have a look and see what the Australians say, see how it goes. I mean, there's not only the Chinese, but there's also the Pacific. Our Pacific neighbours are also able to do that too. So we'll see how it goes.
Social media ban. I was just reading last night about Donald Trump, who's come out and said if you regulate or tax any of our American technology companies, I'll tariff you. Does that make you nervous about an under-16 ban?
I haven't seen that, but it's certainly something I'll go and look at and take into consideration. Look, in the end...
Would it worry? I mean, would it be stupid to regulate an American tech company if it means you get a tariff?
Well, we can see what happens because we are sort of a fast follower of Australia. They're probably a year ahead of us. They are just about to do this, and so we are a way behind them. So we've got some people we can look at, see what happens, see the lay of the land before we do anything. But in the end, yes, of course it's a balancing act, making sure we're protecting our children. There's another article in the Herald this morning about how the horrible content that 13-year-olds are being served up on TikTok when they create an account, how to create a thigh gap in beauty products and how to starve yourself. I mean, it's horrendous.
Yes.
So we've got to balance that with if this is a thing. And look, I haven't heard of that yet, but I'll certainly look into it.
Have you spoken to the American government about potentially what you're planning to do?
We're at the very, very early stages, so not yet.
Has the group received any advice yet?
We've received advice from certain experts, and we're, like I say, at the very early stages. There's a number of different things we can do, and I'm trying to work out what's the right path. Some of the things I want to do take a lot longer, but I really want to get something in place quickly, so I'm trying to work out if there's maybe a two-stage process to this.
What are the quick wins you can get?
Well, you can just move immediately to banning kids, right? You can move immediately to some kind of age restriction. But then that doesn't necessarily change the behaviour of the companies. So there are other things we can do, like regulate them. I want you, company A, to tell me how many children are on your platform. Have you made sure that when they create an account, it's set to private? There's a whole lot of things that we can do to regulate them, to change their behaviour that just going for a ban doesn't actually do. I'm keen to do both of those. But also, we've got other issues outside of social media. There's pornography as well. I've got kids at primary schools looking at hardcore porn. That is a problem. So there are wider things to look at as well. I'm interested in sort of the broader lay of the land.
Unless Trump comes in over the top.
Well, we'll see what happens in Australia. We'll keep an eye on that.